Back to Graffiti University Comics. Today, we're doing a blog. I got a great topic today, great subject, tie into the story. If you've been keeping up with my story, it's based on a true story of my life. One thing I want to give a shout out to the people who continue to support Graffiti University Comics by supporting and buying my comic books. Really appreciate it. The shares, the emails. I've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of feedback on my latest episodes. Been having a lot of questions, and I strive real hard to answer y'all questions through my emails, through the blog, and through the episodes on my background of my life. But today, right, I want to talk about. I got a great story. It's always wisdom in my stories. Always a lot of just beauty in my stories that not just the youth, anybody can learn from these stories. So this particular story I want to talk about it was like in the early 90s. I called it the Rain Tree era. This is before WBC. But this is where the WBC was like, you know how they before and after. This was like the before the WBC era, but this was the grooming era to create WBC, the brand, the experience, the lifestyle. So what I want to talk about today, right, is a privileged dope boy, or people. Wealth can be a curse. You know, a lot of us, some of us are born into wealthy families. Some of us are born into middle class families. Some of us are born into poor families. Now, keep in mind what I just said. The reason why I want you to keep in mind with this, right? Because sometimes the families that you was born into, if you make the wrong choices based off your experience of your life, you can cause a lot of pain in your life when you didn't have to. The reason why I'm saying this, right, is because a lot of times we may be in a family that's less unfortunate, that don't have a lot. And we may see another family that has a whole lot, and you may feel as though you wish you was in that family. And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people are caught up in that type of mindset. So this story that I'm about to tell is based on a true story, right? The Rain Tree era. When I'm talking about the Rain Tree, I'm talking about apartments. These were some apartment complexes where I used to hustle dope, right? I used to sell drugs, and selling drugs, right? We used to do Grand Theft Auto. Now, mind you, this was before Grand Theft Auto ever came out. See, we was really living Grand Theft Auto. We was really stealing cars, selling drugs, running the streets long before the video game ever came out. So the point I'm trying to get to say is this. We come from low income families where we felt as though we had to sell drugs. And for me, selling drugs and being in the streets, I felt as though I didn't want my mother to buy me shoes. I didn't want her to buy my clothes, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt as though around this time, I think I'm like 12, 13, 11, in that area. So I'm selling drugs because I felt as though I don't want to depend on my mother. I'm old enough because in my neighborhood I seen drug dealers hustling the corners, right? So I felt as though that's what I want to do. I want to sell drugs so I can hustle. And now, mind you, always keep in mind My stories is never to glorify the lifestyle of the streets. I suffered a whole lot in the streets when I was selling drugs. I ended up in jail. I started using drugs. I got shot in my head. I'm blind on one side. So never think that these stories that I'm telling is to glorify the streets. What I'm trying to do is lay a blueprint for you all to understand and see that this lifestyle that you thinking about choosing, see on the outside it look good, but once you in it, you in it. And a lot of times when you in it, you don't make it out. So what I'm trying to say is this. So we hustling on the blocks, selling crack, stealing cars. We, boosting. Like I said, we boosting, stealing out of stores and things like that, right? And saying that, there were behind these apartments, right? It was a neighborhood, like a wealthy neighborhood, where doctors and lawyers and the big old mansions, So there was kids over there our age, right? They had everything they wanted. Their family gave them whatever they wanted, right? But what they had, like we was going. I was like in the 9th, 10th grade. We walking to school. We catching the bus to school, things like that, or riding junkie car, crack. We would give a junkie, a person that smoked crack, we would give them rocks for cars, or we would be stealing cars to go up to the school and, around lunchtime, because I wasn't in school. At the time I didn't like school, so I used to just go to school to show off my outfit or pull up in a stolen car. But these other guys that was from the wealthy neighborhood, right? They had whatever they wanted. They family gave them cars. They had cars pulling up at the car. Back then, it was like lowriders and Suzuki trucks and 5.0s and things like that. So like I said, we in the 10th grade. These people got cars. They got, like I said, they got everything they want. They got, because their mother is like a doctor, lawyer, all type of like big old mansions. So they had whatever they wanted, right? Now, keep in mind, this story gonna get very deep, right? So in saying that, they had whatever they want. So they used to come around us, and we somewhat, I ain't gonna say it, in so many words, we knew that they was privileged kids, but we was from the streets. We was from the streets, but they would come around us, and they would have weed. They be selling drugs. See, they wanted to be us. They wanted to be like us, but we didn't have a choice. See, they had a choice. See what I'm saying? We was poor kids trying to hustle, sell drugs to get to where they was at. But they would come around and they would try to mimic the street life. In saying that, right, keep in mind what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you can be born into a family where you may think that your family is poor or don't have enough, and you have people that's wealthy, got everything they want, and it still wasn't enough for them. They didn't want to imitate the life that they really had. They wanted to imitate the life that we had, the street life. They wanted to be drug dealers and like they wanted to be a part of that lifestyle of the streets. In saying that, right, sometimes, right, just the overall picture, not just the street life, is sometimes you can be influenced by something that you don't know nothing about, and it may cost you your life. So the reason why I'm saying this story, right, I'm not going to give you the whole story because I'm working on a comic book, right? For those who know and follow my brand, you all know that I create comic books. They're available on Amazon and Lulu.com. And if you want to purchase any of those books, they're available on my posts, in my videos. You can see them at the back of the videos. And a lot of my videos, I have the name of the books, and where they're available at, right? So, like I said, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but I want to kind of like just give you a glance at some things that we choose in life can be very detrimental to us, right? So, like I was telling you, we street dudes. We didn't have a choice. We selling drugs, stealing cars, because we didn't have no dads. We didn't have no type of role model. Our role models was drug dealers, pimp players, and hustlers, right? But these people that came from the good neighborhood, they had dad and mother, lawyers, doctors. They had everything they wanted. Like I said, they had nice cars coming to school. Pulling up at the school, they had all of they was the popular kids in the school, right? But they wanted to be a drug dealer. And like I said, I never been in a gang. They became gang members. Now, mind you, they're not street. They just come from a wealthy family. So they got more influence on a lot of people, because if you come from a poor environment, the one who got the most material things can somewhat be more popular or more influential to the rest of the people, right? So what I'm trying to say was they became drug dealers and gang members, right? Now, mind you, they didn't come from this environment. They grew up nice homes, beautiful families where the poor or the vulnerable people want their lifestyle, but they wanted our lifestyle, the street mentality, the street mindset. So they began to sell drugs and gang members. Now, in saying that, like I said, I'm not going to give you the whole story because I got to put it in the book. They became very influenced to the streets, misleading a whole lot of the youth. But like I was telling you, you got to be careful what type of lifestyle you want, or what type of lifestyle you get into. Saying that, the moral of the story, right? It was two of them. Like I said, it was two of them. They loved the fancy life. They had cars, money. They was known for being the drug dealers, the high-ranking gang members, right? One became addicted to drugs. May his soul, may Allah bless his soul. He became addicted to drugs. He couldn't shake the addiction, right? The addiction had him in the grips. He committed suicide. Listen to what I'm saying. He committed suicide. He couldn't shake the addiction because, see, when he fell, because mind you, he was a drug dealer, gang member. He had everything he wanted. Cars, money, fame. But he didn't have to choose their lifestyle. See, I had to choose the lifestyle. I really didn't have to choose it, but at the time I thought I didn't have another choice. But he was born into a family that had everything. So when he became addicted to drugs, right? He couldn't take the embarrassment. Or even, like, I suffered from a drug addiction. I've been clean for years. But I know the feeling when you this popular person in your environment, known for money, having money and cars and jewelry and fame, right? And you get addicted to drugs and you lose everything. That's what happened to him. He lost everything. He died. He committed suicide. The other guy, it was two of them. Keep in mind, it was two of them. The other guy, he became physically ill. And the physical illness, he can't get rid of it. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is this. See, based off my life, right, I realized that when I was a young kid, teenager, or whatever, see, you got choices. Even when you were a little boy, your parents tell you to go to school, become whatever you want to be. You could be whatever you want to be. But you choose the lifestyle of the streets. You choose to smoke weed, sell drugs, do crime, gang bang, rob, steal, whatever you decide to do. The point I'm trying to make is this. Whatever choices that you make, whatever choices that you decide to take, that road you take, that journey that you take in life, if you take the wrong roads, your story in the end gonna pay for it. You're gonna pay for some of the things that you've done. You don't get away. I don't care how much you thought you got away, you don't get away. So like I said, I just wanted to get on and kind of like break down this story to give y'all a deeper understanding of, if you're younger, I'm 50. So if you're younger than me, you in your 20s, 30s, even 40s or 50s, the choices that you make today affects the future. The things that you do today, it's gonna affect the future. So make sure the choices that you're making, right? Make sure the choices that you're making in life, that you make sure that it's a healthy choice, so in the future you don't have to pay for it. So like I said, I just wanted to get on and share that story because, like I said, I've been working on this comic book. I got a lot of projects though. I can't really give you a date on when this book gonna come out, but it's called The Rain Tree Era. So when I get through working on it, but like I said, I still got a lot of stages to go with it. But I am out. But the manuscript is written. But far as the other projects, like I said, I got a lot of projects I'm working on. So it ain't no telling, but I have the story already written. So just stay in tune, keep update with. I'm gonna continue to give y'all updates on my projects and what I'm doing. But I just wanted to jump on, right? It's a beautiful day. People outside. It's sunny. I'm down in Lower Manhattan. Lower Manhattan is where the Statue of Liberty is, where like in the area of the World Trade Center, things like that. Wall Street, things like that. It's like I said, it's a lot of people out. But other than that, I would thank y'all for coming back to Graffiti University Comics. And if y'all not following me on Instagram or Facebook, you can look me up on Graffiti University Comics. On Instagram, it's North Park Comic Book Series. No, North Park Comic Books. At North Park Comic Books. Graffiti University Comic is at _G.U.C.B. The reason why it's like that is because I had another page and it got hacked, so I had to change the name. But you can look up North Park Comic Book Series, North Park Comic Books, and like on Facebook and TikTok, it's Graffiti University Comics. Like I said, you can see that logo. Anywhere you see that logo, that's Graffiti University Comics. Also, you can follow my TV station page, One Eye Television. That's another, that's a TV station that I have. As far as it's a channel that I have where I shoot in the studios my stories. So with that, thank y'all for coming back to Graffiti University Comics. Make sure you all like, share, comment, and make the right choices. Why?